As I left off, we are just finishing environmental science in my career investigation. Now we're heading over to literacy. In my literacy, what you're supposed to do is find an article based on a recent event and comment on it. Read it over and comment on it and give a little summary. And my article was I found on this website on Google that called New York Times. It's study finds persistent racial and gender bias in legal profession. Yeah, in this article it says that like women of women and people of color, people who are different and treated unfairly compared to the people born and raised in the same place and look the same as those judged upon those different people. Personally, I believe this statement made in this article because although America is considered the land of the free, it is not free for all people. It's still a lot harder on those who aren't originally from here due to the fact that they eat different foods, talk different languages, don't do everything we consider normal. We went through all these different battles and wars in history just so that today we can um just so that they can say because they have a different skin tone they aren't welcome or good enough for our people. All these racial slurs going around and all these sexist, it's really not good for our country, our name, or anything related. It's just we're supposed to be the most revolutionized country in the world, yet we suffer from the same issues that we did centuries ago. America's land of the free sounds more like an ancient burial myth nowadays. And now we had one of them as our legal professionals, and even as our president, things have really gone downhill. And this article is really nice because this lady or man um is not afraid to write about this and put it out there, and also comments about how she feels upon this, even though it might come back to bite her. But she's brave and she speaks the truth. How this racial and sexist stuff needs to go. And next we have our project. Over the course of sophomore and freshman year, we've been adding projects, and we post about them. We write our timeline on them and post pictures and everything about the projects that we do over the 2 years. Well, my 2 years that I've been here. The first thing we did was the lantern project. Um, we just sort of got a certain distance of wire, used that distance to make a little idea for a lantern, and then he gave us some materials and we made it. Next was the birdhouse. Um, First, like we talked about making it, he gave us a certain amount of wood, and we had to estimate how much we used, and we just sort of used what we got to make a birdhouse. And mine's turned out pretty good. We used the wrong nail, so it sort of got bent up, but it turned out pretty good. Next, we have the engineering LED card, greeting card. And what we had to do in this project was design a greeting card to where whenever you open it, the LEDs turn on, but whenever you close it, they turn off. It took me a little while to get to understand the concept, but over it, Mr. Vo showed us a great example, and I took it, and that's how I figured that out. Next thing is SolidWorks. Engineering, a really major thing that we do in there is SolidWorks, where we sort of learn to make 3D figures and all that sort of stuff on this little app, SolidWorks. And they teach us all the skills necessary to make these things, and they can later turn out to be our future jobs. But they did a really good job, and they taught us a lot of things that we didn't know how to do before. Um, the circuit project, we sort of just went over and how to make light bulbs shine bright and brighter, what we could do to change it. And the vinyl clock, we got a vinyl disc, and we had to use the the vinyl cutter to sort of cut out a certain object in the disc so that we can like give it a design and make it a clock. As you can see here, I used the vinyl cutter. I chose the night before Christmas, and this is kind of how it turned out. It's kind of hard to see, but as you can see, right above the disc's circle, the mid circle, I just did the clear design of where it'd be cut out. Another SolidWorks project. This one, he was trying to teach us everything we needed to know about SolidWorks and everything he knew about SolidWorks. So we take notes and we took tests doing all these types of figures, all these different types of shapes and things that we can use to, like, basic materials that we would that a lot of engineers really make. Like right now we made a nail, and right here we made this little, we sort of got everything that we made and put it together, and we were able to slide the triangle down with the nails. We made everything and then we put it all together and make that. And this is just a 3D object of a Nike symbol. Another thing we did on SolidWorks, and this is the SolidWorks final. We had to get our favorite toy and make it on SolidWorks. And I'm a pretty big fan of frisbee golf, so that's what I chose. Pretty easy to make. I chose to make the putter. It's kind of a real thick at the end and real small and stocky kind of frisbee. And so that's what I made. It's sort of like a pizza, but it's a frisbee. And last is the tape dispenser. What we did is we got this design. We had to make one of two choices of a tape dispenser. And as you can see, I chose this picture right here. I labeled it and put all the measurements on it, every single angle, and then I made it on SolidWorks. And my resume is yet to come. I haven't really started on it, but I'll get to that. And my SolidWorks skills, we haven't really done that yet, but I'll get onto that. And this is my Weebly. Thank you.